Quiet now, please. Next section of chapter 4, we're looking at the angles in our triangle. So the different angles in our triangle. So the first part that I have here is the triangle angle sum theorem. Okay? So the sum of the measures of the angles of a triangle is 180. Okay, so all three of your angles added together will equal 180. So in the figure at the right, the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle B plus the measure of angle C will equal 180 degrees. Okay, so adding all three, you get 180. So in the next two example problems here, we want to find the missing angles. Okay, so those missing angles are numbered. Okay, so I have angle 1 here, angle 2, and angle 3. So I want to find all three of those angles. So I'm going to find angle 1 first. Well, in this triangle ABC, I have two of the other angles. So to get angle 1, okay, I'm going to take 180 minus 90 minus 58, okay? And you will get 32. Okay, so that angle is 32 degrees. Quiet, please. Since these angles are across from each other, they're created by those two intersecting lines. Those are vertical angles. Okay? Vertical angles are congruent or equal to each other. So since angle 1 and angle 2 are vertical, angle 2 will also be 32 degrees. Okay? From here, I now know two of the angles in this triangle CDE. Okay, so I can take 180 and subtract 108 and subtract 32. It is 40. Okay, so just kind of writing this out so it's a little bit easier to look at. The measure of angle 1 is equal to 32 degrees. The measure of angle 2 is equal to 32 degrees. And the measure of angle 3 is equal to 40 degrees. Okay, just so it's a little bit easier to look at so we don't have our work everywhere. You said 40. All right, number 2, we have angle Q is 30 degrees. We need to find the measure of angle 1. Now these dashes in your angle here mean that they are congruent. Okay, they're the same measure. So since this angle is 30, this angle is also 30. Okay, so now I have, guys, we really need to stop talking. Now we have two angles of this triangle and we need the third. So to get angle 1, you can take 180 and subtract your other two angles. Okay, it is 120. So the measure of angle 1 is equal to 120 degrees. Okay. The next section here is talking about exterior angles. So this is one that you probably haven't seen before. So make sure you're paying attention, please. Okay, so we have the exterior angle theorem. So the measure of an exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the measures of the two remote interior angles. Okay, so over in our picture here, angle 1 is your exterior angle. It's on the outside of that triangle. Okay, it's your exterior angle. Now to get angle 1, you're going to add together the two remote interior angles. In this triangle, your remote interior angles are angle B and angle A. So they're the two angles of your triangle furthest away from that exterior angle. Okay, so not the angle next to the exterior, but the other two within that triangle. Okay, so we can add together A and B, and that will give us angle 1. Okay, so looking at some examples of this, number 3, we want to find the measure of angle 1. So I can add together my two remote interior angles. So those angles across the triangle from that exterior. So to get the measure of angle 1, we'll add 65 plus 50. So the measure of angle 1 is 115 degrees. Okay, number 4. We need to find angle 1 and angle 2. Okay, so to find angle 1, that is an exterior angle. So we can add together our two remote interior. So to get angle 1, we'll add 25 and 35. Okay, so the measure of angle 1 is 60 degrees. Now I need angle 2. Okay, there are two different ways that you could find the measure of angle 2. So you could take 180 and subtract these two to get that third angle in your triangle. Or since you know angle 1 is 60, and angle 1 and angle 2 form a straight line, a straight line is 180 degrees. So you could take 180 and subtract angle 1 to get angle 2 to get 120 degrees. Okay, so those would be your two angle measures. Okay, then number 5, we need to find angle 1, angle 2, and angle 3. With this picture, it's bringing you back to parallel lines. Okay, so these arrows in those lines mean those are parallel. Yes, so you have this line. Shh, please. Shh, quiet. Yes. You did parallel lines last year. So these two are parallel to each other. This line right here would be called a transversal.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So this angle right here is 60 degrees, and this angle right here are considered alternate interior angles. Okay, so you have alternate interior angles. What do you know about those? They're equal. Okay, they're the same. So angle 2 would be 60. Now same thing with these arrows over here. This line is parallel to this line. Okay? And again, this is a transversal. So 60 degrees and angle 1 are also alternate interior angles. So those two angles are congruent as well. So angle 1 would be 60. Okay? Now to find angle 3, that is an exterior angle to this triangle ONP. So I can add together my two remote interiors, so angle 1 and angle 2, which is 120. Okay, so the measure of angle 1 is 60 degrees. Measure of angle 2 is 60 degrees. And the measure of angle 3 is 120 degrees. Okay, any questions on finding these angles? Okay, all three in a triangle add to 180. To get your exterior, you can add together your two remote interior angles. Okay, at the bottom here I have some corollaries to our theorems. So the acute angles of a right triangle are complementary. What does complementary mean? They equal 90. Okay, complementary angles add together, they equal 90. So if you have a right triangle, your acute angles of that right triangle, so A and B, equal 90. So I can add the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle B, and they should equal 90. My second one here states that there can be at most one right or obtuse angle in a triangle. You cannot have two right angles, and you cannot have two obtuse angles. If I were to try and draw that picture, if I have two right angles, that doesn't close, so it's not a triangle. If I have two obtuse angles, that also doesn't close, so it doesn't create a triangle. Okay, so you can only have one obtuse angle, one right angle. So if you're solving for the last angle in your triangle and one of the angles is already obtuse and somehow you get 100, that is not going to be the correct angle measure. Okay? So good way to check that you found that angle measure correctly. So flipping over onto the back here. It's the two obtuse angles. You can if you want. I just wanted to show you. All right. So on the back then, for that top one, we want to find the measure of angle 2. Okay, so that's this angle right here. Now in this triangle, you have an exterior and one of the remote interior angles, right? So on the other side, we added together our two remote interior angles to equal our exterior, right? So what you could do is kind of set up an equation, if that makes more sense to you. So you can say the measure of angle 2 plus that other remote interior angle, so 71, should equal that exterior. Okay, so 92. Okay, and I just want to solve for the measure of angle 2, so you'll subtract 71 from 92. So the measure of angle 2 is equal to 21. Now if you don't need to set it up like this, and you just know I can take that exterior and subtract one of my remote interiors to get the other, that's fine too. Okay? So same thing here. We want to find the measure of angle 4. Angle 4 is right here. I know this angle is 90. So just like in this example, we can take our exterior, and subtract our other remote interior angle to get our angle 4 here as 33. Okay, so the measure of angle 4 is equal to 33 degrees. Make sure you are writing that degree symbol, okay? Because we are working with the angles, so write that degree symbol. This degree symbol. All right, next problem. Shh. Quiet, please. We're finding the measure of angle A, B, C. Okay, so we want to find this angle measure. But first we need to find x so that I can plug x in to that equation. What am I going to do?
2x minus 15 and that one.
And this one?
Yeah.
And do what?
Add it.
Add it and then
Equals 148.
equals 148. Okay, so since 148 is your exterior, you can add together your two remote interiors. So you can take 2x minus 15 and add x minus 5 to get 148. Okay, so I can add together those two remote interiors. That will equal that exterior. From here I can solve for x. So combining like terms, I'll have 3x and then minus 20 equals 148. Add 20 to both sides. So we have 3x is equal to 168. Divide both sides by 3.
That's equals
56.
Degrees.
It could be degrees, yeah. But I still need to solve for this angle. Okay, so this is what x equals. And I wanted to find the measure of angle ABC. So I need to plug in 56 for x. Okay, so the measure of angle ABC will be equal to 56 minus 5, which is 51 degrees, and that would be your final answer. Okay, same thing in the next problem here. I want you guys to do this one. Find the measure of angle JKL. Okay? Do that one that says number 22, even though it's not actually number 22. That's fine.
Did the wrong one. Apple one.
Shut up before I beat you up.
Well, it depends how big your numbers are. So it's 27.
Ooh.
Doesn't matter which one you put it in.
21 guys.
I'm thankful for helping you. Wait, so how do you know which one I'm going for? Like, because you did it to this
So follow that pattern.
You did.
Okay.
That's most people when they say that they're looking for a problem.
I'm on phone.
Yeah, my house.
No, not around the shoes. Courtney's friend got her experience. Mine's this. She got that scared yesterday, and then she went and got somewhere.
They're not equal. All right, so looking at number 22. So we're finding the measure of angle JKL. So you guys went over angles last year of how to label an angle. When they're talking about angle JKL, you need to go in order of those points. So it goes from point J, pay attention, goes from point J to point K to point L. You want to plug it in to the equation that makes up that angle when you follow the letters. So I go J to K to L. That makes this angle here. Okay? So you have to follow those points, and whatever angles created with those 3 points, that's the one you want to plug it into. Okay, so it would be this one right here. You should take this angle here, so 2x plus 27. Add on your other one, so 2x minus 11.
Doesn't matter if we did.
And that should equal 100. So you added this one plus this one to get 100? That's fine. From here, you should have gotten x is equal to 21. Okay? Since we're trying to find this angle here, you're going to plug in 21 for x. Okay? So we have 2 times 21 minus 11. So the measure of angle JKL should be equal to 31 degrees. Okay? Any questions? All right, triangles at the bottom. Shh. We are quiet, please. There's too much talking. Yes. So, in these next problems, we want to classify the triangle by its angles. So that's what we did yesterday. Okay? Is it right, obtuse, or acute? Okay, so that's what it means by classify by the angles. Right, obtuse, or acute. So we want to find what those angle measures are. So in this first problem, we know, we are quiet please. We know all 3 angles have to add to be 180. So you can add all 3 of these equations together and set it equal to 180. So you can take 6x plus 5 plus 15x plus 1 plus 4x minus 1 and set it equal to 180. Okay, then you can combine like terms. So I have 6x, 15x, and 4x. That is 25x. Okay, next I can add 5 plus 1 minus 1. That's 5. That's equal to 180. Subtract 5 from both sides. So we have 25x equals 175. Divide both sides by 25. It is 7. Yeah. So x is 7. So what I can do to classify this triangle by its angles is plug 7 in for all of those x values. Okay, so here I have 6 times 7 plus 5. Okay, that is 47. Up here I have 15 times 7 plus 1. That's 106. And then here I have 4 times 7 minus 1 is 27. So this is an obtuse triangle. But just because it looks like that doesn't mean it is.
I feel like the next one is acute.
Angle's not going to be acute if it looks obtuse.
Okay, the last one I want you guys to do is this one right here. Okay, so solve for x. Remember, we're trying to classify that triangle. So you need to find those angles in that triangle and classify it.
It's going to be acute. It's gonna be acute no matter what. What's acute? Angle's not gonna be 180. It's acute. I know my math.
Yeah. What? Yeah, you have to subtract 109 from 37. Yeah. Because you have to work it out.
This is your exterior. Yeah, so add these two, and it should equal that one. This is an exterior. How am I supposed to know? Because it's on the outside. It's an exterior.
I'll just scroll when I got off. And she never showed us an example.
Alright.
Is you guys consider this I think this is a good thing. Should be on Sunday. No. Like, are you worried about yeah. I swear. Yeah.
I'm gonna get rainbow crops.
They have So do we gotta put the x into the exterior?
You don't have to.
But how do we calculate it?
What do all three of your angles have to equal? Yeah. So if you know two of them.
The 11 into
They're white.
this one and this one. Like they're the most free shoes ever.
St. Paul's.
When I was younger, my mom was forced me to wear Crocs. I just chucked them. It's a cute. I thought you have shoes.
What do you mean,
So
Kelly?
we have to do 80 plus 35.
Your school calculator right here. I accidentally threw my calculator away. I got it was in my binder and I threw all my stuff at this school, I'm walking out, I'm like, right into the garbage center. I got one, damn, my calculator was
Yeah, that's fine. That's right. Because then that equals the next one.
It's gonna be
I'm favorite of Friday.
I'm about to go
There's
to
nothing that I like your dance though. Guys, there's a transfer snow.
If it snows at the football game.
All right. We're going to go through this problem. Please pay attention so you know what's going on. So in 32, these two angles are in your triangle. This one is not. This one is an exterior angle. Okay? That means I can add together those two remote interior angles and set it equal to that exterior. Okay? From there, I can combine like terms. Okay, so I have 84 plus 3x is equal to 5x plus 62. I'm going to subtract 3x. So I have 84 is equal to 2x plus 62. Subtract 62. So I get 22 is equal to 2x. Divide both sides by 2. And x is 11. Now, since I'm trying to classify this triangle by its angles, I'm going to plug 11 in for x in that angle there. Because I need to classify this triangle. So I need this angle for sure. So we have 3 times 11 plus 47. That is 80 degrees. Now, if you want, you can plug it into this one, but you don't need to. Okay? All 3 of your angles here have to add to 180. Okay, so I can take 180 minus 80 minus 37 to get this angle is 63. Okay, so all 3 of those angles are acute. Okay, so this would be an acute triangle. Okay, so that would be an acute triangle. Does that make more sense that I went through that one?